Good afternoon and welcome to Chargers Outside Zone. I'm Chuck.
I'm Thomas.
And today we're going to look at Thomas's 2023 projections for the entire NFL season.
Yes.
Obviously using playoffpredictors.com out there. Great website. If you haven't done it, it's a super fun. And who knows what kind of results you'll get. But we're going to show you our results here in a second. Just a reminder, this is a father-son hobby where we focus on the team building of the Los Angeles Chargers. On occasions, we do rankings, we do projections, try to mix it up a little bit in the offseason and have some fun. As you will see, we are not experts. It is plain to see.
Here.
You don't have to be an expert to notice that we're not experts. But, hey, we're having fun doing it. We don't talk about gambling or betting, and we stay away from hot takes.
Clearly, we don't.
With that, so we went to playoffpredictors.com. We just did this. Went through all 18 weeks of the season. I asked him visiting team at home team. First thing that came to mind, bang, filled it in. Got through all 18 seasons. 18 weeks. And here we go with the results. In the AFC, the Cincinnati Bengals finished the season 16-1. The Pittsburgh Steelers finished the season 12-5, with the Ravens 9-8, and the Cleveland Browns 1-16.
I'm not a fan of the
Browns. Not high on the Browns this year. I have a feeling that the fans of the Cleveland Browns might lose their ever-loving mind if this happens.
Yes.
But, hey, this is our projections, not theirs. They can do a homer bracket and win the division. In the East, the Buffalo Bills finished 15-2 and finished with the second seed. New York Jets at 11-6 with the number 6 seed. And rounding out that division, you have the Miami Dolphins 7-10, probably a disappointing season for them. And the Patriots 2-15, super disappointing for Bill Belichick, not disappointing for the fans of the other 31 teams. I think that would get him to the losingest coach of all time and still keep him about 17 wins away from being the winningest coach of all time. So would he achieve that winningest mark at the Patriots, or would they fire Bill Belichick? Either way, I would love to see a 2-15 Patriots team.
Yes.
In the AFC West, the Chargers with a strong season, 15-2. They win every game in the division. That gets them the number 3 seed, with the Kansas City Chiefs squeaking into the playoffs at 10-7. 4-2 in the division. Those two losses against the Chargers, obviously. But they beat the Broncos and Raiders twice each. The Broncos win 6 games and finish 6-11. And the Raiders, I guess it is Patriots way west. They finish with the same record as the Patriots, 2-15. And in the South, one team stands out, the number 4 seed, Jacksonville Jaguars, 11-6. They go 6-0 in their division, followed by the Tennessee Titans, 9-8. A strong performance by the Colts with a new head coach and a new quarterback, 8-9. I think every Colts fan, if you presented them that option today, they would all sign up for it.
Yes.
And the Houston Texans, 6-11, competitive there, maybe not so much in the division. They finished 1-5. So they get 5 wins outside their own division. Interesting.
If you presented it with a Texans fan, I think they would be happy.
They would be happy, but I mean, man, the Colts fans would be out of their mind. They'd be like, "Oh, we were only one game from having a winning record." Yeah, if if the ball fell this way in that one game, we would have been in the playoffs,
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
But,
So
yeah.
in the NFC, in the East, the Eagles win the division with a 14-3 record. They finish the division 5-1. That earns them the number 3 seed in the NFC. The Cowboys get a wild card number 6 seed at 10-7, 3-3 in the division. The Giants finish outside the playoffs at 8-9. They would not be as happy as Colts fans.
Yes.
They would be a little upset going 3-3 in the division, finishing, just a half game below 500, or however you project that. The Washington Commanders 3-13, 1-5 in the division. I think we say goodbye to Ron Rivera at that point,
Yeah.
and the organization carries on. The NFC North, what a crazy division this is. You have 2 playoff teams, probably not the 2 you expect. The number 4 seed, the Minnesota Vikings, finished 9-8, 4-2 in the division. That gets them a slight tiebreaker on the Chicago Bears with the number 7 seed, finish with that same 9-8 record, but 3-3 in the division. And Lions fans and Packers fans are angry because their teams both finished with losing records, 7-10, not in the playoffs. An off season of what do we do, or what went wrong. But so we move on to the NFC South, where we have the first undefeated regular season team since those New England Patriots. And that would be the New Orleans Saints, finishing 17-0, a perfect record, 6-0 in the division, obviously, and the clear number 1 seed in the NFC. The Atlanta Falcons finished second at 7-9 with 4-2 in the division. I'm sure there's some Falcons fans that would be happy, but not terribly happy. Where do they go from here? Not sure. Panthers 5-12, probably fairly happy with that result, finishing 2-4 in the division.
Yes.
It's something to build upon with a rookie quarterback and Frank Reich in his first year, in his second stint as a head coach.
Yes.
And rounding out the NFC South, bringing back those creamsicles, finishing the year 0-17, just like their ancestors in the 70s, not
Before
winning
them.
a game. Beautiful. Love it. Really feel like Tampa Bay deserves something like this.
Yes.
In the West, the NFC West, the San Francisco 49ers, great season, 16-1, 6-0 in the division, but the number 2 seed because of those vaunted Saints going undefeated. Another playoff team from the West, surprise that it's not the Seahawks, but it's the Rams with the number 5 seed, finishing the year 12-5, 4-2 in the division. Those Seahawks finished 6-11, regression.
I don't see I don't see a complete fall off from the Rams. I just don't.
The Rams finishing 12-5.
I don't see that as well.
Probably somewhere in between. But
but
here in this
I would
exercise, you had them going 12-5.
yes.
Probably a little bullish on them. The Seahawks go 6-11, finished 2-4 in the division, and that division's rounded out by the Arizona Cardinals, 1-16, 0-6 in the division. Really a disappointing season for the Cardinals because not only did they only win one game, but they didn't even get the number 1 draft pick because the Buccaneers were worse than them, and we'll get into that in a little bit when we reveal the draft order.
Just
But
like
first, let's go
just
on
like who they traded picks
the
with.
Texans.
Just like who they
Like the
trade-
Texans had the number 1 pick in their hand,
Yes.
and then even found a way to fumble that. So let's talk playoffs here.
Playoffs.
And in the AFC, you have the number 5 Steelers beating the number 4 Jacksonville Jaguars. A road win in the playoffs for the Steelers.
Yes.
And I think Steelers fans would love to get a playoff win.
With Kenny Pickett.
The number 6 New York Jets travel to Los Angeles to play the Chargers, the number 3 seed, and the Chargers win that matchup.
New York fans would just be upset.
They would be sad. But not as sad as the Kansas City Chiefs fans. The Dynasty hitting a road bump
Well, Patrick Mahomes was injured.
in your 2023 season here.
Yes.
That's what happened.
Blew
That got
out
them to
his-
finish.
blew out his ACL.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Uh,
I think we should dial it back a little. Let's not.
Okay. Torn mid-meniscus.
Okay. But those 7-seeded Chiefs, they travel to Buffalo and lose to the number 2 Bills. Moving on to the NFC, all home wins here. The Rams go on the road to the Vikings and lose to those Minnesota Vikings at number 4 seed. The Dallas Cowboys travel to Philadelphia and lose in the playoffs to the number 3 seed Philadelphia Eagles. And the surprise Chicago Bears go to play the 16-1 San Francisco 49ers
And lose.
and lose. But
They made the playoffs.
they made the playoffs.
That's
All
all
right.
I want.
You ready to move on to the divisional round?
Yes.
Do you think everybody's checked out at this point?
No.
And in that divisional round, the Los Angeles Chargers, the number 3 seed, travel to Buffalo to face the number 2 seeded Buffalo Bills. I'm guessing weather in Buffalo, Chargers offense doesn't get on track,
Yes.
and they lose.
Yes.
My fingers are crossed that the Chargers play out of their mind like the Cincinnati Bengals did last year and get that win in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Guess that's just the homer in me. And the Bengals, the number 1 seed, Cincinnati Bengals, take care of the number 5 seeded Pittsburgh Steelers. In the NFC, the Eagles travel to San Francisco to face the Niners, and the Niners get it done here. And the Minnesota Vikings, number 4 seed, travel to New Orleans against that 17-0 juggernaut. The New Orleans Saints, led by Derek Carr, and the Saints get that playoff win.
Well, here's the thing. I thought Derek Carr would play out of his mind
Yeah,
because
obviously, if they're 18-0
they
at this point,
the Raiders dumped him.
yep. So let's see that conference championships.
Yes.
Bills at Bengals, Niners at Saints. And the Bengals defeat the Buffalo Bills, a repeat of last year, this time in the conference championship. Last year was the divisional round.
Yes.
The Bengals getting it done, returning to the Super Bowl for the second time in 3 years. And in the NFC, the Niners make it happen.
Yes.
They get past that conference championship, past the 17-0 regular season, 18-0 New Orleans Saints,
Yes.
and Derek Carr in that vaunted offense and stellar defense of those Saints. And the Niners get it done to return to the Super Bowl. Last time they were in the Super Bowl was against the Chiefs pre-COVID. It's been forever ago, a lifetime ago. And
Well,
they've been to several conference championships between then and now, but they get back to the Super Bowl. And we have the Niners versus the Bengals
yes.
for all the marbles. And you have your Super Bowl 58, I think. I don't know.
I don't.
We lost count.
We lost count. The Las Vegas one.
Sure. The
lost.
San Francisco 49ers get the job done against the Cincinnati Bengals, a repeat from an 80s Super Bowl that was played, I think, in Detroit or wherever, or New Orleans, somewhere.
I don't know.
And your Super Bowl champion San Francisco 49ers.
I think that could possibly happen.
Really bullish on those Niners.
Well,
I'm guessing Brock Purdy is league MVP, or is that Derek Carr because they went 17-0?
Derek Carr. I could see this Super Bowl happen. If it does, I could see the defense of the Niners being too much for the Bengals, even though the Bengals offense is elite.
Yeah, and just for the record, I think you had the Bengals playing in last year's Super Bowl, either losing to the Packers or beating the Packers. We'd have to go back and look,
I
but
don't know.
pretty bullish on the Bengals. Always.
I am.
All right.
I'm not.
Just in case you wanted to see the bracket here, how it breaks out from the wild card weekend to the divisional round to the conference championships, that Super Bowl where the Niners take home the Lombardi. And for those draft nerds out there, this is our 2024 NFL draft order. At the top of it, you have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers selecting Caleb Williams, quarterback, USC. At number 2, the Arizona Cardinals. Can't believe that they lost out on the
Caleb
generational quarterback. So
Williams. So they went.
they sit there and cry, and the timer goes off, and the Browns jump up, and they select Marvin Harrison Jr.
No,
No, that's not what happened.
that's not what happened. What
Okay.
happened was Tar Heels quarterback
Okay. So Drake May goes to the Cardinals.
Drake May,
The Browns,
the Browns, Marvin Harrison.
Jr. That means the Raiders get Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers. Yeah.
And they run 2 tight end sets with two of your favorite college tight ends, Michael Mayer and Brock Bowers.
Yes. It would be painful.
And the Patriots,
Select another defensive player, Kool-Aid McKinstry.
awesome. I think that's as far as we want to go.
And
The Chargers picking 28th. Oof. Great season. I think you had them 15-2, winning 2 playoff games and losing to the Bills, right?
no.
Oh, no, winning 1 playoff game and then losing to the Bills.
Yeah.
All righty. And so that was our projections for this season. Once again, we use Playoff Predictor. I'm sure if you've watched enough YouTube videos, you've seen other people do Playoff Predictors.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you can attest to the fact that ours is just as terrible as everyone else's.
Yes. Yes. Probably more terrible.
All right. What do you say we get out of here?
Yes.
Follow us on Twitter at LAC Outside Zone.
Please follow, like, share, subscribe.
I think subscribe to the channel on YouTube, Chargers Outside Zone. Like this video.
And please
Turn on
share.
notifications. Share videos. We have a website, chargersoutsidezone.com. Email us at chargersoutsidezone@gmail.com. I think this is the 4th episode we've recorded this evening. We got about 2 more to go.
Yes.
And with
Bye.
that, we'll get out of here. Take care.
Bye.